Towpath, Recipes and Stories, a book by Laurie Demora and Laura Jackson, two people that started a kind of cafe, restaurant, eating, coffee, wine, food experience place in a very unusual spot in London. I've fallen in love with this book today. I couldn't put it down. It's a recipe book, but with the stories, as it says, recipes and stories. So I've been flicking through and just engrossed in the story of these two people and the backstory to their lives. So I always love that. But I didn't know about this place, and this book, this Airbnb is filled with books, and this one I've picked up a few. I'm just in my van. We're in England. The weather is terrible. Pretty tired, to be honest, because we've been traveling around France for 3 months. I make daily videos to profile business and just things that I'm passionate about and working things out, basically. I just love it when you find a good book. I remember when I read Pirate Hunters by Robert Kurson. I made a video about this maybe a year ago. I just called the day off. I didn't even go into work. I just read that whole book. Absolutely engrossed. Such a well-written, amazing, enchanting book. And this story here is incredible. They basically in the area of London. The area of London will come back to me, but it was East London in a bit of a rundown spot where there were lots of empty industrial units. It's on the canal. Hey, I just had the name. I just redid the name. Brain's not fully functioning. But there were basically along the canal. There was a small towpath that was obviously used for the canals back in the day. It's open to the public in an area of London. Hackney. And three little units came open that were basically the size of bus shelters, all along the same line, but they were split with the joining walls, which were supporting walls, so they couldn't exactly knock them down. They decided to open this kind of cafe, restaurant place where they do breakfast, lunch, and dinners, and on this towpath, and it's turned into this incredible movement. They've been open 10, 11 years, and I just love what they do. The recipes are incredible. It's inspired me to try some new things and get the creative brain back for the food, now back in the UK. But I just love the way they do things. It's like unapologetically being themselves. Coffee, they just decided to have full fat milk and not bother with all the food offerings. It reminds me of my yoga teacher in Bali, one of them, the main one, Octavio, just saying, like, if you're not upsetting half the people all of the time, I think upsetting is a strong word. I think it's probably not pleasing or not catering to half the people half the time. You need to be pleasing half the people, and the other half, they don't like or connect with what you do. That means you're evolving. That means you're pushing forward and doing something new and bold and different. Because they were like, they had limited space, so they had to work things out. And a lot of people didn't like it that they only use full fat milk, because so many people are used to going to Cafe Nero, Starbucks, and the other one, and choosing all these different milks. But the trouble is, if you try and please and take in all the feedback and try and please all the people all the time, you lose your identity. And this is what these guys have, a true identity. It's I would do some fancy editing and like put in some pictures and stuff. I'll just try and flick through and you probably won't even be able to see it, but it's just a very small. I think they were. If you're looking at them from the canal, two of them were 4 meters wide and 2 meters deep, and another one was 5 meters wide and 2 meters deep. So they kind of just little. They described it as bush shelters and open to the elements, just the same as a bush shelter. And they started cooking from their kitchen and then transporting the stuff over. And the unit next door came available, so then they turned that into the kitchen where things changed. It's hard to gauge probably from there. But what I love about these guys, they don't have a website, they don't have a phone number, they don't have an email, they don't take bookings. It's just turn up. Like, if you want some food, just turn up. And they make very simple food, but they make it seasonal. and they have some staples on there like porridge and granola, but then they'll change the compotes or the fruits seasonally. And yeah, it just makes me want to do something with food. I mean, I am doing something with food because with nonconformity, 100 startups in 1,000 days. So a lot of those are food related, health related, ingredient related, because I'm very passionate about food and cooking and sourcing and health and all of those things. I've always wanted to combine. I would just like to do a pizzeria where you only sold Hawaiian pizza, but 3 different types of it. That would really mess with people's minds, wouldn't it? And then just a carafe, 50 cl carafe of natural red wine. That would be it, the menu. That's quite a good picture. But yeah, it's just in an unusual place with not a lot of space, and just the stories and what they've done and created a community of people is just really inspiring. It's been really inspiring for me for the Nonconformity Company and the food, and just going with something and believing it and sticking to your values. I think that's the thing I've mentioned and been rounding off the values of Nonconformity Company. Got a list of like 10 commandments, values, whatever you want to call them. And as we grow, I just think it's going to be really important that we stick to those, which kind of leads into, yeah, I wanted to say more about this. I've not finished reading it. I've only just been scanning through it today. And it's just, if you're into food and you like going out to eat and you like cooking and you like business, like this is the perfect book for you. Just get the book. It's just so nice to have a recipe book and with the stories about the business and how they started and just what they stand for. And we've said for Nonconformity Company, one of the values is to have free education. And I just got an email from Ravi Abdullah, this guy that I signed up to do with YouTube marketing and stuff. And he sells a lot of high ticket stuff. And I'm like, nah. And then one email came through. I think it was somewhere when I was in France early on, I think. I ended up buying a course that was reduced to $9 about how to create. I spoke about this yesterday. How to create a standalone YouTube video that just continually brings you in customers. I didn't even finish. I hardly started that course because the first 10 minutes was him talking about how amazing his life was, how he's got a diamond ring for his girlfriend, and how he does this, that, and the other. It's like, I do not care what you're up to in your life. If I've bought a course on teaching me how to do something, I want to know what I'm going to learn immediately, how that's going to be given to me, how much time's expected of me, what I'm going to gain by the end of this course. I don't care about your life. I don't care about your diamond ring and your girlfriend and you on a jet ski on an island. Like, but you've got to pay for these courses. Then you've got to do the login, and then you've got to go and, learn about their lives. It's like, well done, mate, but like, I've bought an educational course. I know an introduction can go some way to getting to know your teacher, like an introduction, 30 seconds. But I just believe if you're all the best teachers that I've gone for, like they let their teaching speak, and that's what a student's going to respect you for, isn't it? So I think I've just gone ahead and extended the values of the free education rather than, we're Nonconformity Company. We're flipping the models in a lot of ways. Giving away the education for free will bring in more people. But what I've thought of doing, rather than having any sign-ins or paywalls or nonsense, you have it one click. People start the education. They're in. That's it. And you give them that much value that they want to come back and continue or digest the whole thing there. But there's no way for them to sign in. There's no way for them to save their spot. We could then introduce, maybe after 3 or 4 modules or lessons, a sign in, or continue this course and save your space and things like that. We'll experiment with that. But I just like initially, especially the first quarter to a third of the course, just give it without a login, without any nonsense, because you've got to prove yourself as a teacher and make it accessible. I think that'll just be really refreshing to people. Like, this place was really refreshing to people. They were just good, honest, nice food in an unusual location, and just, they're not the only people doing things like this, but they did their unique thing. We'll do our unique thing, and people will come and like it, and people will come and hate it, and we'll welcome both. We'll welcome both. Yeah, raining in England. Managed to get to the park this morning, which was good. Just had some pasta, the last of the food used up today. So I was doing a Sainsbury's order to arrive tomorrow. I've got to finish that off tonight. And yeah, like, I've noticed this as well. This is my last and final thing of the video today. Technology. It seems like I've noticed this on Sainsbury's, eBay, and a few other places. Everybody wants now to, like, oh, change your login to your facial recognition or your fingerprint for security. It's like I'm ordering groceries, mate. I'm not, like, you know, producing battle plans or anything like this. But it's interesting to note all of the technology slowly introducing these messages to normalize facial recognition, fingerprints. Because in social, slip of the tongue there. I'm going to pause that. I'm not going to go into that. If you know, you know. That's all I'll say on that one. We need to use technology, not get used by it. It doesn't want to be taking over, and it's, yeah, having boundaries, etc. But I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to, it's about 7 o'clock. I'm just going to finish the stories in this book. And the great thing is as well, each recipe has a little story as well to go along with it, which is just really nice. It's so well written, and yeah, I just want to go there. It's made me want to start a restaurant or a cafe or something. And I'm sure I will one day. I've always wanted to do that, maybe combine it with a bakery, and just do it for a couple of years and then sell it, just for the experience. Like, I'm all about doing different things, living in different places, doing different projects. We're obviously doing a lot of different projects, mostly online at the moment, just so we can get the money coming in to provide a solid foundation to be able to do things like that without any pressure of money. Like, you can even do it for, well, there's many different ways to do it, but I just love the idea of doing that. In any case, I will definitely do something. I'm talking to a guy in Nottingham about doing some pop-ups, and he's open to it. Paddy, who has Working Man's Kitchen, fantastic pizza, and he's up for working with me to develop some different Hawaiian pizzas, because people, yeah, just not the salty. The ham should be salty, but shit, crap, bad, stop swearing, terrible ham is not salty. Guanciale, the pig's cheek, that's an option. Lardons is. Spicy sausage, maybe, could be an option. Olives, as well as the vegetarian option. Black Moroccan salty olives with sweet pineapple. And then there's different ways to do the pineapple. Maybe we can pickle it, maybe we can have some juice and do it afterwards. I also want to experiment with doing the leaving the tomato off the pizza on some of them and baking the dough with the cheese and then putting on the tomato sauce afterwards, fresh, and not being in the oven and blasted. As I saw on a Chef's Table pizza edition, someone's doing it in Italy. There was some phrase that they use, which is like not traditional or back to front or something like that. But anyway, we'll leave it there.